What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and you might notice something different. This is coming from you from Atlanta at Blade Show. I am here on Thursday. Kevin is on his way. I am in the hotel. I am so freaking pumped. Already met a slew of wonderful, wonderful people here for Blade Show, and I am stoked. But I knew that I was going to get here, a little bit, a couple hours before Kevin got here, so I've got to booby trap the apartment or the hotel room. That's just a must because practical jokes. I'm gonna probably put my balls on everything that you put your mouth on. But anyways, I also knew that I would have time to do a review because I have been on vacation and I've had a lot of work done, a lot of work to do, and so I was like, okay, I'll do a review during this time while Kevin is not here yet. That's what we're doing. And it is of Kevin's knife, the Medford Slim Midi. This is the first one that he got. He actually has another one. And I think that he might even already have this one sold because he's thinking about getting another one. That's how much Kevin loves this knife. And I carried this on vacation as well as the quiet carry drift, because the drift I wanted to take it to the beach because it's rust proof and do the review there. That was super fun. But I also carried this knife. Didn't carry this on the beach obviously, but I carried this some while I was there, and I see what Kevin is talking about. This, I've had a few Medfords, okay? I've had the 187. I've been able to handle some Praetorians. I've had the Marauder H, which is the big boy, but just a little bit thinner than the full-size Marauder. All of those ran on phosphor bronze washers. This one runs on bearings. It is just a totally different experience than I've ever felt with Medford knives, and this one I thought was going to be too small for me. That's why I didn't pick it up originally, and I went with the big boy, the Marauder H, which I sold to my buddy Tom, aka the Angry Kikapujin. And, okay, Kevin raves. You guys know, you watch me, you watch him, you know. He raved about this knife, and I understand why. This is an excellent blade. You can get this in a couple different variations. Of course, the drop point and the Tonto. The Tonto is just a wicked looking blade. Sorry, the lighting kind of sucks because I'm in a hotel and I got one light kind of shining on me, so there's a lot of glare, and I apologize for that. But the compound grind that you have on the Medford blades, as you can see, it's not a very tall grind, but it is a hollow grind here and a flat grind on the Tonto, or on the compound grind up here at the top, and it is really, really nice. It cuts really well. When I first got it, I did have to strop it up just a little bit because I wasn't the first. Kevin had it and cut with it. Jake had it and cut with it. So I did strop it up a little bit. This one is an S35 VN, and I believe you can order these in the S90V and 3V as well, but don't quote me. I think you can. I would really like to have a 3V version maybe of this. But when you look at it, you see Medford. It's a Medford knife. You know it's a Medford knife when you look at it. It has a little groove here for deployment, which is really nice. You can use the thumb, but I just really suck at the thumb on anything. But you can use the thumb flick. Of course, the reverse flick on this guy is absolutely amazing. Way better than any other Medford that I've had. Of course, some of the Medfords that I've had, I was able to do it, but it took a lot of time to break in for me to be able to do it without any wrist. This one, not the case. I can use the index finger. I can do the slow roll. I mean, it's really fun to deploy because you have different options. This one, as a lot of Medfords, has the blade stops there, which I love blade stops because hinders. A lot of knives use blade stops. But I like that because it really helps with the rigidity of the knife. And that just is a second thing for me that makes the rigidity like, okay, it's not going to wiggle on me. I even think you can probably tune the action on something with bearings just a tad looser than you would be able to on another knife that doesn't have the blade stops, because it just helps that much. Not that I know. Like, I'm not an expert, okay, guys? Not at all. I don't take my knives apart like Kevin does. But yeah, I love blade stops. I love the design of the blade stops. I like the ergonomics. The ergonomics on this knife in a backed up grip is very comfortable. It is rather thin. It's not too thin, though. I thought it was going to be with my big old meat hooks wrapping around this guy, but it is very, very comfortable with this pocket clip, which is not deep carry, but very well done, little thin titanium pocket clip. And then, of course, you have a choil to choke up, and then it just melts in your hand kind of good. It was really hard for me not to buy this knife from Kevin. The only maybe complaint that I would, only complaint that I might have for this knife is like on all Medfords, you do have the lock bar face, which is sticking up, past the scales. If you drop it there, you might damage that, and then the knife might not work very well. That is on all Medfords. I got over it with the 187 and the Praetorian and the Marauder H. I guess I got over that. So it's not a huge deal. As you can see, the detent ball and ramp are also exposed. I don't really find it to be an issue, but I am sure there are some cases where it's gotten a lot of gunk in there and it's made it a little bit worse, but I don't foresee it being a big deal. The lock bar tension to get the lock bar pressed over and get out of the way is tight. It's a lot of guys, when I handed this knife to at work, they were like, I love this knife, but it's just too much pressure to get the lock bar out of the way. To each their own. It's not really a problem for me. However, I understand what they're talking about compared to other knives. It is a little bit more pressure to get it out of the way and let it drop, but it's not really a big deal for me. The lock bar has just a little bit of an area there, not really chamfering. It's not the most comfortable in the world, okay, I'll say that. But it's enough to be able to get your thumb in there, let it drop like that, and then, of course, being on bearings, it's just really good action, especially for a Medford. For all the other Medfords that I've had, this really, really tickles my fancy. But it is, small. It's not too small, though. It's a smaller knife. Medford is known for a lot of his bigger stuff. Let's go ahead. I can't put this camera around like I usually do, but here it is against a PM2. Very PM2 style. Actually, the PM2 is a little bit longer. So a very nice knife. It's a 3 1/4 inch blade. Here it is against the Evo 2.0. So not small, not huge. I think it's a great EDC carry. Matter of fact, probably one of Medford's best EDC carries in his collection of knives or his designs. I think this is absolutely my favorite that I've tried so far. I'm kind of sweating. It's hot in this damn hotel. These freaking people around here. Yeah. But I think it's the best knife in his collection so far that I have tried. And if I was to get a Medford right now, it would be one of these. Now, you can pick these things up for around $500, but it's all going to depend on what you get. You have to order these from Medford. I believe that the Slim Midis that you can find in other retailers right now are not the ones that run on bearings. But I could be wrong about that. But if you go to Medford's website, its base price is $500, and then colors, different color pivots, different finishes will obviously add to the cost. But for $500 to $600, depending on the options that you get, I think it's worth it if you like the design. For me, I mean, seriously, I would have already bought one if it was like $350. I would have bought one, as soon as I picked it up and played with it. The fact that it's S35 VN, titanium, and even with the design, you can get, I don't know what's going on with my lighting here, the camera just kind of went funky. You can get a lot for your money for that kind of price, the $500 range, with more contouring and stuff on the handle, just a little bit more going on. So, I mean, I definitely can't say it's a deal at all. I can't say that. Do I think it's worth it? I think it is definitely worth it to those who like it. Especially if you've had other Medfords and it just wasn't your thing. I believe if you tried this one, you'd probably be like, okay. Yes, because I like Greg Medford. I like to support the American-made companies, especially a patriot like Greg. So this one might be in my future. I might try to see if I can get one in 3V steel, though, because that to me would be more worth it. Now, of course, I'll pay more than $500 for that probably, but with this kind of knife in 3V steel, I think it'd be cool. Not that it's an outdoor bruiser of a knife, because it is definitely an EDC blade, but I like 3V steel. What can I say? I'm not a huge fan of S90V. I'm definitely not a fan of S35 VN, really in a premium, more high dollar knife. So 3V would be the blade steel that they use that I would choose. So, but I really, really appreciate Kevin for letting me check this out. He is on his way. I can't wait till he gets here, get to meet him for the first time. I feel like I've known him all my life, but we have never met in person, and I am so super excited to meet him. I really wish Jake could be here. Jake, shout out to you. I love you, brother. Man, I really wish you could have come with us. And then, of course, a lot of other people. I'm looking forward to meeting a bunch of people that I've just talked to on Instagram and in comments. It's really a dream for me to be here at Blade Show. And thanks, guys, for stopping by and checking this out with me and listen to me ramble. You will see a lot more videos from Kevin and myself from here at Blade Show, so stay tuned for all of that. The On the Edge will be on Saturday, live from Blade Show here, or in the hotel room, not actually at Blade Show. So we're looking forward to that as well, guys. Stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.